And welcome back to Mike Ferry TV, the week of March 27th. Well, we are in Sorrento, Italy, doing our 4-day Superstar Retreat for all of our European customers. We have a great crowd here. I think we have 750, 800 people from Spain, Belgium, France, Italy, Bulgaria, and a couple other countries, which I apologize, I should probably recognize. We're excited about this because we've expanded a lot over the last 5 or 6 years going to Europe, and now we're headed into Southeast Asia, which is fun. But here we are in Sorrento, Italy. If you've never been here, it is a place to visit, okay? It's on the Amalfi Coast. It's south of Rome. It is beautiful. Well, our top 10 list in week number 2 is from Josh. He said, Mike, what an amazing experience. Here's the top 10 things I learned from the retreat, and I can't wait to look at the rest I've learned and put them into effect. Thank you for that thought, Josh, and let's go right to it. Okay, here's his number 1. Take the time to break old unproductive habits. We've had these habits for a long time. We have a lot invested in them, and therefore they're hard to break. He went on to say, and I thought this was good, listen to what Josh said. This is a critical point for me, knowing that as an agent, there really isn't any time to waste. Now, I want you to look. He said a lot in this first point in his top 10 list. Take the time to break old unproductive habits because I have so much time invested in them. Okay, do you have any unproductive habits at all? And the answer is yes. Can you identify what they are? The answer is yes. You've probably had those habits for a long, long, long time, much longer than you probably should have kept them. So what you have to do is look at how you're going to break those habits, how you're going to change those habits, what you're going to do about it. But then he says, this was a critical point for me because as an agent, I can't afford to waste any more time. See, remember, as an independent contractor, as a commissioned salesperson, your only asset is your time. You lose your time, you lose everything. So therefore, if you understand the value of your time and you understand the value of what you're trying to accomplish with your time, you'll move away from some of those habits that are not helping you build your business. Number 2 is probably one of the hardest things that I teach. I bring it up at all of our events. I brought it up for probably 25 years. And here's what Josh said. I have to develop more blind faith. He said, especially with my mindset. I never want to operate from a position of fear. Okay, blind faith. You go to a doctor and the doctor determines there has to be a surgery done. God bless you for that. Hope it all comes out good. And the doctor isn't going to put you on the table, put you under. You have blind faith that the doctor has the same goal you have to get you better faster, and have you wake up alive, excited, and full of energy to keep on with your life. Blind faith. You get on a commercial airplane. You have to exercise blind faith. You have to assume the pilot wants to land at the airport, not at the lake, okay? Because blind faith says they're going to take off and land safely with you on board. We exercise blind faith all the time in our business. We exercise it in the things we do. The only way to really build a large business is to exercise blind faith all the time. So Josh's point was extremely well taken. Number 3, my ability to confront will determine how successful I am. You know, we can't really ever stop talking about the confrontation. It is the key to our success. And again, as you'll hear me say time and time and time again, confrontation, it's not an ugly thing. It's not a nasty thing. It's not being upset. Confrontation is simply asking a question to create a response so you know where to go next with this conversation. So my ability to confront will determine how successful I am. At times, this is a process that is challenging because we could get rejected. Now you know. And we've talked about rejection for years if you've watched Mike Ferry TV. 3 biggest problems in real estate: the fear of rejection, fear of acceptance, the fear of embarrassment, okay? Watch, I don't want to be rejected. Folks, you can't win without being rejected. A pro football team does not make yardage on every play. They don't make a touchdown every time they try. Pro baseball player makes errors. They strike out at times. Pro basketball player misses shots. Tennis players miss points. Professional golfers miss putts. Real estate people miss transactions. But Mike, I want to win them all. Can't win them all, but can you learn from your losses? Can you learn from those experiences you've had? Because if you think about it for just a minute, when I start to confront, I am going to be facing this whole thought of rejection, which happens all the time. Here's Josh's point number 4. Set minimum standards that you will not deviate from. My standards of honesty, integrity, and truth will not be compromised for any reason whatsoever. Isn't that great? All right, now there's 2 kinds of standards, internal and external. I will not take a commission under 6%. I will not list a property more than 3 to 5% above fair market value. Okay, I will not, I will not, I will. These are standards in your business. But he had internal standards, honesty, integrity, and truth will not be compromised. I'm going to tell the seller the truth. But do they always like that? No. Are they always respectful of it? No. Do they get upset at times? Yes. But if the standard is, I'm going to tell the seller the truth, people get mad at me all the time. Now, folks, I've lasted as a real estate sales trainer, professional speaker, 42 years. I've lasted because I'm willing to tell you the truth. Now, do you always like the truth? No. Do you always do what I say? No. But I accept that as part of the process. There's minimum standards we have to have. Those minimum standards are what create a big, strong, successful career for you. Okay, number 5, I surround myself with people that also want to win. I am the sum total of the people I surround myself with. If I'm with big thinkers, my thinking will expand. If I'm with millionaires, my income will increase. If I'm with small thinkers, same thing happens. You ever notice, and I know Matt and Tom used to always say that we all have our tribe, and I used to always wonder about that, a tribe. Well, the truth is what they're saying is we're going to associate with the people we hang out with. And that would be our tribe. Drug addicts hang out with drug addicts. Professional athletes hang out with professional athletes. Pilots hang out with pilots. Doctors hang out with doctors. Top successful real estate people like yourself hang out with top successful real estate people. So I have to surround myself with my role play partners, my accountability partners, my mastermind group. I surround myself when I come to the Mike Ferry events to be with people that are productive, excited, trying to accomplish things. The more I spend with people like that, the better chance I have. The bigger my business gets, the more productive I am. The bigger my business gets, the more productive I am. Number 6, and I remember when I brought this point up at the July retreat and again in October in Fort Lauderdale, I didn't realize that a lot of people kind of went, when I brought this point up, because I didn't think it was that big a point, but let me read what he wrote down as his point number 6. The flow of money is stopped by the flow of thoughts. Now think about that. The flow of money is stopped by the flow of thoughts. When you stop thinking about what you're going to do, what you can accomplish, what your schedule is, how to deal with situations. When you stop thinking, you stop earning money. Only way to make a substantial income is to keep thinking about what are the steps required to make a substantial income. Here's what he said. Mike had me thinking, what are the thoughts in my mind that could be stopping me from earning more income today? All right, let's stop again. What thoughts do you have watching our weekly TV show that stop you from making the money you want to make? If I was with you, I would ask you, do you want to make more money? You nod your head, you say yes. How much more would you like to make? I want to make $20,000 more than I made in the past. What's your average commission check? $5,000. It's 4 more deals, 1 a quarter. Okay, let's write out a plan on how to make that happen. But see, what happens is if we stop thinking about the improvements we have to make, stop thinking about the things that we're doing, if we stop thinking about the things we're saying, we're stopping the flow of thoughts and therefore stopping the flow of income. I was quite amazed that Josh wrote that down because I watched a lot of people write that thought down not knowing really that I had created the impact that I created. You might hear that thought come up during this 6-week series more than once. Here's Josh's point number 7. Don't take the path of least resistance. Sometimes the tougher path is the most challenging and almost always the most rewarding. If you're going from point A to point B, there's going to be a few bumps in the road. Okay, there could be a few potholes. You might have to make a few left and right turns. Might be some broken glass that you want to avoid running over. It's called life. But see, in real estate, if we don't know what to say and don't know what to do, we're attracted to taking the path of least resistance. And that path of least resistance is never going to reward you with high productivity. I don't understand why we take that path so often. It's easier, okay? My standard joke has always been, okay, look at what you eat. I'm going to have a hot fudge sundae. I love those. So to counterbalance, I'm going to have a Diet Coke. That's the path of least resistance. Probably not going to lose a lot of weight eating a hot fudge sundae, and certainly the Diet Coke isn't going to counteract that act which I've just embarked upon. Number 8, become an expert at asking questions. I bet, and I haven't looked back through or looked forward through all 6 of these little events we're doing together, I'll bet this one comes up more than once. Okay, an expert at asking questions. Listen, ask, find out the motivation, find out their why, and then continue. Now think about it. Did a seminar recently, and I said to one of the agents, why are you in real estate? I wanted a lot of freedom in my schedule. I said, are you doing a lot of business? Well, I'm okay. How many deals are you going to do this year? 5 or 6. What's your average commission check? 6,000. So you're going to make 25 to 35,000, right? Can you live on that? No. Well, what you're lacking then, okay, is the motivation. So I kept asking questions till this particular lady committed to doing more of what I was saying so she could complete her business at a higher level. You got to be an expert at asking questions to gain the access to the information you need to move forward quickly. Number 9, tell the truth. I think this is the second time that Josh has brought this up. Let's go back a minute. My standards are honesty, integrity, and truth, and they will not be compromised for any reason whatsoever. And then I look at number 9 on his list. Tell the truth. Be truthful with my clients, and it will release any added pressure regarding price, conditions, etc., why it hasn't sold. Tell the truth. Well, Mike, they're going to get mad if I tell the truth. You're right. They will get mad. But do you want the doctor to lie to you? You know, you're smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day and they found a spot on your lungs. The doctor says, it ain't no big deal. Keep smoking, you'll be fine. I want the truth, okay? And if you tell the truth, even though it could be a little hurtful in terms of the initial response, it's how you get to the core of solving the problem. And point number 10, I need to create higher levels of accountability. I need individuals to hold me accountable with my business plan, my schedule, my mindset, and I want to do the same with them. You know, I started years ago setting up accountability partners among our clients and role play partners among our clients. Then we created all these mastermind groups. We probably have a couple hundred mastermind groups operating today. Then I started the Mondays with Mike, which is a big mastermind group. Then we started the Think Big groups. And, you know, we keep trying to find ways for you guys and gals to interact, find ways for you to talk to each other, to communicate, hold each other accountable, to challenge each other, to push each other. Because, see, the truth is, as independent contractors, you're alone a lot of the time. And if you're not alone with people, you're alone in your head. So therefore, the accountability, the ability to ask people to push you forward and do the same for them in return is critical to long-term success. I was very impressed with Josh's list. I'm really impressed with the fact that we have such a great group of agents in Sorrento. I think this is our 5th year doing our Superstar Retreat in Italy. We're headquartered in Italy. We've opened up in France, and we've opened up in Belgium. We're moving to Bulgaria. We're moving to Spain. We're moving to the Far East. We're going to be doing programs all over the world. And it might be time for some of you to join us at one of those. Worst case scenario, attend the Superstar Retreat in Las Vegas, August 1, 2, 3, and 4. We moved from the Palazzo, beautiful facility, to the Bellagio, another beautiful facility. We'll be there the next couple of years, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there and getting your top 10 list when we are done. Let's go to week number 3. Pay attention for next week, week 3, in our series of top 10 lists.